Nice That You Looking At, You Belong With Me, is a song by the American singer-songwriter Taylor Swift, and the third single from her second studio album, Fearless, 2008. Big Machine Records released the song to radio on April 20, 2009. Swift was inspired to write You Belong With Me after overhearing a telephone call between a touring band member and his girlfriend. She and Liz Rose wrote the lyrics, which discuss an unrequited love. Swift and Nathan Chapman produced the track, which has a banjo-led country pop production and incorporates fiddle, mandolin, and rock-influenced bass and electric guitars. Although the single was promoted on country radio, some critics categorized it into 1980s pop subgenres such as pop rock and power pop. Early reviews of the song generally praised its radio-friendly production and the emotional engagement of the lyrics, although a few deemed the songwriting formulaic. Some feminist critics took issue with the lyrics as slut-shaming, but retrospective opinions have considered You Belong With Me one of Swift's signature songs. At the 2010 Grammy Awards, the song was nominated in 3 categories, including Song of the Year and Record of the Year. The single reached the top 10 on several charts and received certifications in Australia, Canada, Japan, and New Zealand. In the United States, it peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, and was the first country song to reach number 1 on both the Hot Country Songs chart and the All Genre Radio Songs chart. The Recording Industry Association of America certified the single 7 times platinum. Roman White directed the song's music video, which stars Swift as both the antagonist, an unsympathetic, popular brunette cheerleader, and the protagonist, a sympathetic blonde girl next door who yearns for the antagonist's boyfriend. The video premiered on CMT on May 4, 2009. And won Best Female Video at the MTV Video Music Awards. Swift's acceptance speech was interrupted by Kanye West, which caused a controversy widely covered by the press. Following a 2019 dispute about the ownership of Swift's back catalog, she re-recorded the song as You Belong With Me, Taylor's version, for her album Fearless, Taylor's version, 2021. As of 2024, You Belong With Me has been included in the set lists of 5 of Swift's 6 headlining tours. Taylor Swift wrote songs for her second studio album Fearless while touring as an opening act for other country musicians to promote her self-titled debut studio album during 2007 and 2008, when she was 17 to 18 years old. Continuing the romantic themes of her first album, Swift wrote songs about love and personal experiences from the perspective of a teenage girl to ensure her fans could relate to Fearless. The product was a collection of songs about the challenges of love with prominent high school and fairy tale lyrical imagery. Swift and Nathan Chapman recorded over 50 songs for Fearless. You Belong With Me was one of the 13 tracks that made the final cut. The track, which was recorded by the audio engineer Char Carlson, was produced by Swift and Chapman and mixed by Justin Niebank at Blackbird Studio in Nashville, Tennessee. Swift was inspired to write You Belong With Me after she overheard a telephone call between a band member and his girlfriend. She recalled him becoming defensive when his girlfriend confronted him, which prompted the opening lines. You're on the phone with your girlfriend, she's upset. She's going off about something that you said, out of sympathy for him. Swift imagined herself as a girl next door-itis character with hidden feelings for a close male friend, whom she understood but who was in a relationship with a popular yet snobby, ridiculous, overrated girl. Swift immediately wrote some lyrics and developed a complete narrative in a songwriting session with Liz Rose. Swift played the pre-chorus and chorus to Rose and sang the lines. She wears short skirts, I wear t-shirts, which were her favorite to write on the song. Rose suggested Swift write something about bleachers, and they conceived another lyric. She's cheer captain and I'm on the bleachers. Reviews from mainstream publications generally called You Belong With Me a country pop song, but many critics and musicologists deemed it a pop song that is applicable to more than one radio format. American songwriters Savannah D'Antona said it is openly a pop song influenced by country, not country influenced by pop. Nolan Gasser said the country music stylistic foundation is in the instruments: banjo strums that drive verses, a pedal steel guitar, occasional slide guitar riffs, and a slight twang in Swift's vocals. As the song progresses into the chorus, the banjo and pedal steel submerge to make room for dynamic electric and bass guitars. Jody Rosen categorized You Belong With Me as power pop, while Andrew Unterberger of Billboard said the dynamic shift from the verses to the chorus make the track sound almost like a 90s rock song. Gasser, Michael Campbell, and James E. Perrone cited the song's structure, rhythm, and collective use of acoustic, electric, and bass guitars to categorize the song into 1980s styles of pop rock, new wave, and pop punk. For Perrone, this 1980s connection is in the highly unusual incorporation of guitars and country banjo, fiddle, and mandolin in the steady eighth-note texture. In You Belong With Me, a female narrator expresses her feelings for a male friend who is in a relationship with an unappreciative girlfriend. The lyrical motifs evoke a typical American high school setting. The narrator sees herself as an unpopular girl and an underdog, and the girlfriend is a popular, attractive cheerleader. The narrator appreciates the male friend. She doesn't get your humor like I do. She'll never know your story like I do. And although they share the same sense of humor and an easy rapport, he is unaware of her affection. The narrator discusses the contrasts between herself and the girlfriend in the verses. She wears high heels, I wear sneakers. She's cheer captain and I'm on the bleachers. Throughout the song, the narrator persuades the male friend to acknowledge her charm. Some critics found the lyrics melancholy despite the upbeat production and said that, contrary to Swift's status as an attractive and popular figure, her narrator's position as an unpopular girl contributes to her reliability and popularity among her audience. Ken Tucker of NPR wrote the lyrics and vocals are full of intense ache that effectively conveys adolescent yearning. Gasser described the narrative lyrics as the most profound country influences on You Belong With Me, while Tom Bryan of Pitchfork found its narrative about unrequited love reminiscent of the most fragile, heartbroken strains of twee indie pop. In the Edmonton Journal, Amanda Ash said the lyrics are not as sentimental because Swift's character mocks a guy for his choice in women but also sheds a tear for his blindness. Before Fearless was released, Big Machine Records made You Belong With Me available for download exclusively via the iTunes Store in November 2008 as part of the promotional campaign, Countdown to Fearless. The track debuted at number 12 on the US Billboard Hot 100, tying Swift with the Jonas Brothers for the most top 20 debuts, 5, within one calendar year. Big Machine released the song to US country radio on April 20, 2009, as the third single from Fearless. The track was released to US contemporary hit radio on May 18, 2009, by Big Machine in partnership with Republic Records. The single peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 in August 2009, kept off the top by the Black Eyed Peas, I Got a Feeling. Driven by non-country airplay, the song gained the largest crossover radio audience since Faith Hill's Breathe in 2000. By 2011, It held the record for the highest audience impression for a country artist's song. On the US Radio Songs chart, You Belong With Me peaked at number 1, becoming Swift's first single and the first country song to do so since Billboard began incorporating Nielsen BDS monitored data in 1990. On other US airplay charts, it spent 2 weeks atop Hot Country Songs and 14 weeks atop Adult Contemporary, and it peaked at number 2 on both Pop Songs and Adult Pop Songs charts. It was the second most played song on US radio of 2009 behind Fearless's lead single, Love Story. The Recording Industry Association of America certified You Belong With Me 7 times platinum for passing 7 million units based on sales and streaming, and the single had sold 4.9 million copies in the United States by July 2019. In reviews of Fearless, many critics considered You Belong With Me a standout track and recommended it for download. Some lauded the production as catchy and radio-friendly, qualities to which they attributed the single's crossover success. Craig S. Seman of the Telegram and Gazette described the song as an irresistible keeper, and Chris Richards of The Washington Post thought that the use of country banjos and new wave guitars was perfectly natural. Critics also complimented the way the lyrical sentiments resonate with a broad audience, including adults and Swift's core audience of teenage girls. Some reviewers observed sophistication in the songwriting. Josh Love from The Village Voice chose it as one of the album's great songs that display preternatural wisdom and inclusiveness, and John P. McLaughlin of The Province said it captures the nuances and minutiae of high school romance. Ash said the witty song adds maturity to Swift's adolescent perspectives compared with the sappy single, Teardrops on My Guitar, 2006. Some critics were more reserved in their praise. Chris Williams of Billboard said the lyrics might seem immature to some listeners, and Johnny Davis of The Observer said the high school imagery may needle British ears. According to the Tampa Bay Times, the song is generic and too similar to many of Swift's previous singles. After You Belong With Me was nominated in 3 categories at the 52nd Annual Grammy Awards, Slant Magazine's Jonathan Keefe wrote, although it is not Swift's best-written song, it stands out among other contenders because it's hard to fault its construction. Pitchfork included You Belong With Me at number 69 in its list of the best songs of 2009. It ranked 10th on the Village Voice's Paz and Jop Mass Critics poll for the same year. In 2010, You Belong With Me received several industry awards and nominations at the 52nd Annual Grammy Awards. It was nominated for Song of the Year, Record of the Year, and Best Female Pop Vocal Performance. The track won Favorite Song at the 2010 Kids' Choice Awards and was nominated for Song of the Year at the 45th Academy of Country Music Awards. At the BMI Country Awards organized by Broadcast Music Inc. to honor the year's most performed country songs on U.S. radio and television. You Belong With Me made Swift the youngest person to win Songwriter of the Year, and the first to win Song of the Year 3 consecutive times following her wins for Teardrops on My Guitar in 2008 and Love Story in 2009. Critics have considered You Belong With Me one of Swift's signature songs and said its pop-friendly sound preceded her artistic shift from country to mainstream pop. Nate Jones from Vulture, 2023, placed You Belong With Me second after All Too Well in his ranking of Swift's discography. He lauded it as a classic about high school feelings and wrote, "The line about short skirts and t-shirts will likely be mentioned in Swift's obituary one day." Chris Willman from Variety, 2022, ranked it first in his list and said the lyrical sentiments about Adolescent feelings contribute to the song's enduring popularity and lauded the production as monstrously hooky. Hannah Milrea of NME 2022 placed it 22nd out of Swift's 161 songs. And Jane Song from Paste 2020 ranked it 8th out of 158 songs. Rob Sheffield of Rolling Stone and Alexis Petridis of The Guardian were less enthusiastic. Sheffield, 2024, ranked it 103rd out of Swift's 274 songs, and Petridis said it is somewhat less impactful than Love Story. You Belong With Me appeared on some all-time rankings. It was ranked among the greatest songs of the 2000s decade by CMT, and VH1 Billboard ranked the chorus of You Belong With Me the 20th greatest in 100 Greatest Choruses of the 21st Century, 2017. Saying, "There were about a dozen moments you could point to as proof that Taylor Swift would one day become the biggest pop star in the world. But maybe none bigger than the immaculate chorus of the magazine." Also ranked the track at number 42 on its list of the 500 Best Pop Songs, 2023, and said, "The memorable lyrical passages and nuanced vocal runs have allowed the song to stand the test of time." You Belong With Me ranked first on Teen Vogue's 91 Best Songs About Unrequited Love, 2020. Some feminist authors regarded You Belong With Me as anti-feminist or slut-shaming, citing the lyrics contrasting Swift's character in t-shirts and the antagonist's girlfriend in short skirts as an act of belittling other women to win men's attention. Sadie Doyle deemed the song a triumph of girl-on-girl sexism that promotes moral superiority and 50s-style coy submissiveness. And Lauren Michelle Jackson regarded it as a bouncy jaunt through the valley of me versus those other girls. In Vulture, Nate Jones said the song, alongside other contemporaneous releases by Swift, was made to appeal to a conservative, red state audience. In defense of the song, Emily Street James from Vox said the anti-feminist interpretations ignore Swift's willingness to play both women, in the dichotomy of good-hearted girls next door pining away for cute boys who fell for cheerleader Jezebels, and that the song thrives on earnest vulnerability and raw emotionality. This is the end of the video. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye.